to session 1, closing deals with Jeff Whitespeare. That is me. Today I'm going to be talking about KV Core, but like I said in my in the information that I sent out, is any CRM that you use is the best CRM. I love KV Core. I'm a big Boomtown fan, but it was just a little bit less expensive to jump in on KV Core over here at EXP. So I have about an hour, but I'm going to go for about 45 minutes and just try to pile in as much information as I can on actually how to close deals using a CRM. Open it up for questions about 45 minutes in, and then there will be 3 sessions. This is just the first session. I wanted to do 1 session, but as I was preparing for this session, I realized that there's just too much information that this system does. So I want to do 3 different sessions. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm the owner of CitySide Properties Group. We have a big team here in Houston. We have expansion teams in Corpus Christi, in San Antonio, in Austin, in Dallas. And we were blessed enough last year to be ranked as the #2 standard team in all of EXP. And I think a huge part of my success is always having a CRM that I work through. So let's jump in here and get started. So about me, and I say stuff about me because I want you guys to pay attention who the speaker is. There's a lot of speakers that do Zooms and stuff like that, and they can tell you how to do things and what to do and everything. But when you look into it, it's not backed up by any type of production, right? So they're not actually applying it to their business. So whatever. So here we go. 13 years in real estate I've been. My team sold over 580 homes last year, all across Texas. We sold about 157 million in real estate in the last 12 months. The Houston Business Journal ranks teams all across the great state or the city of Houston, and we were ranked as the #5 sales team of over 42,000 agents in Houston. And like I said earlier, I own and operate the #2 standard real estate team at EXP, over 82,000 agents. At EXP, there's like 26 different countries. I generated about 500 leads a month for a very long time using KV Core. I have since knocked that down to more quality leads instead of quantity, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing to do that. We currently have about 109 deals pending in title. So if you're a brand new agent, pending title escrow, that means that we have a buyer and seller agreed on a contract and it's in the title company. So I was recognized a couple years ago as the top 100 most influential realtors in Texas. I think that's a pretty big deal from where I came up. And if you are familiar with the EXP model, I'm 6 times, that's a big deal as well. Again, it feels nice to say this stuff and show and tell you guys this stuff, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. The reason I'm doing it is because I want you guys to listen to my advice. Take it. Don't take all of it. Take some of it. Apply it to your business. Trash some of it. I mean, you don't have to take it. I'm not doing everything right. So, but I'm very highly coached. So the more you take success from other people and just kind of piece all that stuff together, the better you're going to turn out in real estate. So this is what we're going to be talking today. It's just a KV Core outline session 1. The basics is adding contacts, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Profile details, squeeze pages, landing pages, text codes, property boost, and I'm going to try my best to get into Craigslist and scripts and stuff like that. But if not, that's going to be on session 2. And if you're wondering, if you want to join the next 2 sessions, they're going to be on this same Zoom link. It's just the teamlegacyzoom.com. Add me on social media, or you can email me. My Facebook's Jeff Whitespeare. My Instagram is Whitespeare. I also have CitySide Group on Instagram. YouTube is CitySide Properties Group. If you don't have social media, you'd rather just email me. There's my email right now. It goes directly to me, and it's just jeff@citysidehouston.com. So before we get started, does anybody have any questions or anything like that? And then Amanda, if you can just answer all of my questions, that would be great.
Deal.
So no questions. Okay. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen. first things first, when you use KV Core, I need you guys to use, Google Chrome, because Google Chrome just gets along a lot better with KV Core. So I'm going to minimize you guys, take you to the bottom so I can see. But is any, Amanda, you see my dashboard, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the most important thing. That is your contacts, right? Contacts lead to contracts. And if you're a brand new real estate agent, I'm going to ask you, how long have you been alive? You're going to say, even if you say I've only been alive 19, 18 years, you have contacts in your phone. Get those contacts, get them in an Excel sheet, and divvy them up as follows, right? First name, last name, address, birthday, and if they've ever bought or sold from you, maybe an anniversary date of when they bought and sold. And that's really all that you need. But get as many of those as you can, because this CRM only works if you have contacts in it, right? So to start on, you guys need to do, you guys going to need to put your contacts in here. So if you go to this smart CRM on the left, you can easily add a contact by just saying, press add contact and put their name in. Real quickly, because I know this is easy to do, and I hate to say that, but it's very self-explanatory, this system. So the more you put on it, the better you get with it. So new contact, first, last name, email, cell phone, permission to do all the following. I would say yes, yes, and yes. Put in their street address, buyer, seller, renter, vendor, or agent. And then down here, when you're putting in your contacts, don't add a smart campaign or anything just yet. Just ensure that they're all in here. And the most important thing you do in the notes is add a hashtag. And the hashtag is for a main reason is to source leads. It is to identify leads, what buying process or selling process they're in, whether that lead is bought from you already, etc. So I'll give you an example of my hashtags that I use in this system. So clients, if it's hashtag clients, that is somebody that's bought or sold a piece of real estate through me. If they're hashtag sphere, those are people that are in my contacts and they have never bought or sold with me, but I'm trying to get them to do so, right? If they are A, B, or C buyers, there's three things on that. An A buyer is somebody that's actively shopping for properties. If I can find them a property, they're going to make an offer on it. That's my definition of an A buyer. A B buyer is someone that is in the pre-approval process. They're talking to your lender. They're getting ready to get ready to buy. And once they get pre-approved, or maybe they sell a house or whatever, once they're ready to go, they'll turn into an A buyer. But while they're doing that, they're a B buyer. C buyer is somebody that you reached out to, maybe that's went on your website and they say, hey, I'm not interested right now. I'm interested in 6 months, or call me next year, or whatever. So a piece of advice to give you, scripts, if you will, when someone says that, because most people are going to say that when you initially reach out to them, they're not ready right now. I always tell them this, they come in, they jump in there and they say, oh, I'm not ready right now. 6 months out, I'm going to buy a house. You say, that's no problem. Thanks for visiting my site. I can tell you all of my previous clients that I've bought and sold for were about 6 months out when I spoke to them first. So go ahead and enjoy the site. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to change up your search criteria or getting you in touch with a lender, or if you need to prepare your house for a sale or something like that while you're getting ready to buy, just kind of reach out. Any questions, let me know. Is it okay if I follow up with you in 3 months? And they'll say, I'm not ready for 6 months. Say, okay, I'll call you in about 6 months. When you do that, put it in your notes. But okay, I'll show you how to put it in your notes here in a second. Let me get my notes out here. So adding contacts is very easy. If you want to do a bulk import, you can definitely do that. What I traditionally do is I get every contact into an Excel. I go down to this chat box, and you can literally say, hey, here is a attachment of all my contacts. Please upload them and apply the following to whatever hashtags, and they'll do that. Let's talk about the profile details. And if you have any questions about the mass importing of leads or anything like that, you can definitely put that down as a question. Let's talk about it a little bit later. But real quickly, go to lead engine, go to bulk import, and say start and import. They'll do it for you. You can do it yourself, whichever one you want to do, but that's how you do it. Profile details, just to give this somebody that is green to this, meaning they've never done it, right? One thing I want you to do if you have KV Core, and even if you're kind of follow along with me, add yourself as a contact in KV Core, because let's create an awesome text campaign that we'll talk about in session that they get automatic texts and stuff. You need to see what the heck that's looking like on their end, if it's actually working. So my advice is to put your name as 00AA and then your name, because it's easy to find yourself when you search by first and last name right here. And you'll be able to easily click on me and you can do whatever. You can send me a call, a text, or whatever. But let's talk about really quickly the profile details. So once a contact is in here, this system is this is what it'll allow you to do. So your name, your number, if they're a buyer, seller, agent, their address. If you want to do any type of hashtags, you'll put them in there. The profile details, if you guys can, when you're inputting a contact, see if you can put as much information as possible, because when you apply different templates and things like that, and that information isn't in there, the system won't know to do it. So just for an example, I even put up my birthday here. So I just put it yesterday, June 16th. So every June 16th, this system's going to email and text me a happy birthday. And I just have to do that one time. And that's going to continue to remind people that you're in real estate. It's going to do the same thing on a house. Let's say I closed a house on June 16th. Every single June or June 13th, they're going to say, hey, congrats. It's been 1 year since you've, bought or sold your house. Are you interested in what the market's been doing lately? Things like that. So that's the profile details. Let me pull up real quick and just show you the power of this CRM really quickly. You can add a note. So when someone comes in and they want a pool and they need to be close to the schools and they have 3 kids and a dog, so they need a yard and et cetera, all that kind of stuff you're not going to remember. So I need you to put it in the notes here and ask as many questions as possible. When you add that note, let's say you add it, and let's say that this was the note that we added. You see this little pin here? You can pin that note to the very top. So when we're texting and emailing and voicemail dropping and sending videos and things like that, and all this kind of history is in the contact, the most important information is going to be pinned to the top. So that's why you need to do that. If you want to send them an email, you can from the system. It'll do it. You can send them a text. It'll do it. You can voicemail drop them. You can send them a core video. Basically what that is when you click on this, and you say, I'll give you an example. When someone comes in and they're a brand new buyer and I move them from C buyer to B buyer or B buyer to A buyer, they're going to get this video. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Hey, it's your realtor, Jeff Whitespeare here. I just wanted to send you this personal message to let you know that I'm going to be handling your transaction from here on out. I have an entire team at my disposal as well, and your disposal with a full-time staff. And I wanted to just introduce myself and let you know my cell phone number direct to me is 713. Whoa. We're not going to send all that. So, but yeah, that's exactly how the video works. Let me go here. Did everybody see that video? Charles, can I get a thumbs up, Joe? Yeah, so that's one of the videos that you can do on the KV Core video. So let's jump in here and start talking about, I gotta move this, how to create leads. There's people joining left and right in here. This is awesome. So that's basically the, the details of a contact. So let's see what we got here next. Let's start talking about how to drive leads to your site. The number one way to drive leads to your site is if you have money, you can pay for leads, right? Number 2 is going to go to the lead engine and you're going to build a squeeze page. So on KV Core, And whatever CRM that you're using, it's all going to be the same. A squeeze page is a squeeze page is a squeeze page. So a squeeze page for me is really designed more for buyers, because it's you're advertising a multiple properties or anything like that. But the whole idea of a squeeze page is to gather information and use that information as value, and that value be in exchange for that person's information. So you need to make your squeeze pages very specific and very, they need to want to click on it, right? It can't be like I see it all the time, and I don't want to say it's sad, but check out the newest listings in your area, click here. Nobody's going to click on that, right? So, and I mean, maybe they will, but I'm going to show you how to do a specific squeeze page to get tons and tons of buyers, and we're going to do it right now. So we're going to do a multi-property squeeze page. Let me go here. Oops. First step, before we create the squeeze page, I need you guys to get a link to the property. So a link to the information that we're going to display. So on KV Core, go to your name, top right, go to your website. That is your website, jeffreywhitespeare.exprealty.com. And I want you to click on that. And I want you to go directly to more options right here. And this is the website, by the way, that you get with KV Core, but you want to go to more options, and it's going to open up a new page. And here's the best way that I've seen to get tons and tons of buyers into your pipeline. So scroll all the way down, and you only want to see properties that are in a foreclosure or in a short sale. It's not that you want to work only those short sales or foreclosures, but the whole idea of creating this seller squeeze page, buyer squeeze page, is to get people interested and trade the value that you're going to give them for their information. And there's a lack of information out there for foreclosures and short sales and things like that. So foreclosures, short sales, click on that. I'm in Harris County, and I am going to, that's the area that I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to save that search. So let me log in here real quick. Oops, sorry guys. Amanda, are you there?
Yes.
I don't know why it had me log in. I'm logged in. But let's try that again. There we go. Sorry guys. This is why I get to edit videos. And by the way, I'm going to take this technical difficulty moment to realize that this is what your buyers are going to have to do in order to get the information. They're going to have to put their phone number, they're going to have to put their email, and they always say, hey, your cell phone is your password. So when you go to register, it's going to come in as a lead, and that lead is going to have your email and your password and things like that. But back to what I was doing, I'm going to create a foreclosure seller squeeze or buyer squeeze page. First, I need to get the information. So I'm going to go down to my website. I'm going to click on foreclosures and short sales. I'm going to go to Harris County, and I'm going to save that search. Right here, there's almost 800 properties. That's awesome. Anyway. So right now in Harris County, if they're foreclosure and their short sales, there's only 3. I think that's, let me reset these statistics. Reset, Harris County, foreclosure, apply. There we go, that's more like it. So right now there are 22 right now that are foreclosure or short sale on MLS, by the way. So you're going to copy this website. So once you copy that website, you're going to go back here, and you're gonna type in Harris County is gonna, like we put in Harris County. If you guys can put in whatever. There it is. Harris County, listing types, none of this stuff. Leave all this stuff blank because the link that you're gonna send them is gonna be to that page. Right now, I'm gonna put this buyer squeeze page on Facebook. So just type in Facebook. I'm gonna automatically have the system hashtag it foreclosure. That means when this lead comes in and they want foreclosures, I can go to my contacts, I can type in foreclosure, and all of my foreclosure listings are gonna be on there. This is the amount of clicks they can have before they register. I traditionally give them 2 clicks. Once you generate that link, this is going to be the link that you're going to send them. I'm not send them. You're going to post this. And does anybody know where they should post this, short sale foreclosure inventory thing? Is there anybody that want to see where they should post this, or anybody know where you should post this?
Maybe in the marketplace,
Marketplace on social media?
on Facebook.
Yeah, so that would be a good one. No, and there's no wrong answers, right? Post it anywhere, but a lot of people will show you how to do it, but they won't tell you where to post it. So if you live in, like I live in Spring Valley, so I try to market to properties in Spring Valley. So what happens is I'll join the Spring Valley garage sale groups. I'll join the Spring Valley, trading groups. I'll join the Spring Valley entertainment, Spring Valley real. Get as local and get as local as you can with that, and you'll post that stuff in there. And the post should be something like, have you ever wanted to look at all the foreclosed properties in Houston? ? And then you'll put that link. And what will happen is they'll get to that link. Let me click here. I don't know what happened.
Jeff, I think you're muted.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. He'll hop back on. I know when I first started learning KV Core, I'm not naturally super tech savvy. And so I was like so overwhelmed. I'm like, when do you use a landing page or squeeze page and what kind of hashtags? And then I just, hey, you recommended, which I really love, just like jumping in and pushing a bunch of buttons and just seeing what happens. And so I started adding guinea pigs, if you will. I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm going to add you to this and just see what happens.
Hey, what happened?
You got kicked off. You're back.
Hey, we're still in here. My bad, guys. I don't know. I was talking and nobody was saying anything. And I was like, well, maybe I'm just sucking right now. And everybody left.
So you were muted, but you're back. So I'm going to hop off.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't muted. Sorry. What I was talking about is where to put this, right? I would put it on social media groups, Facebook groups. Nextdoor is a huge thing. Nextdoor is like, get as local and specific as you want, right? So that is, does anybody have any questions, or they can hold them to the end of why we're creating squeeze pages?
Hey, Jeff, I actually have a question. Do you
Please,
recommend
yeah.
copying the direct link or the short link to your social media?
I like the short link, but I don't think it matters. Is there a big difference when you click on it or no? Okay, no. I prefer the short link. Another way to do it, if this doesn't jive with your eye set and you actually want to see it, you can go to lead engine here and go to build landing page, and it's going to pull up like this. And this is a little bit more, I think it's just meant a little bit more pleasant to the eyes, if that makes sense. So this is how it's going to look. So I'm going to talk about how to build a landing page. So again, landing pages can be for buyers, sellers, whatever, but we're specifically going to do the one that generated like a ton of leads for me. So double click on this when you're editing it right here, and this stuff's going to go away. The only thing we need is right here. And I'm going to go with a Mac, you can type in below and your little emojis will pop up, but you can go see below for foreclosures in your area. So this is what they're going to see, but that's what I would name it. Oops. And this is for lead generation. So we're going to choose this. It's kind of step by step. So when you go over here to build landing page, this is going to pop up right here, and it's going to look like this. And this is an editable site. You can't eat it. You can change it, right? Hashtag, definitely put in foreclosure because you want to add that as a hashtag. A submit button text is going to be this button right here. So click to see is what I do. This URL, you remember that URL that we copied earlier from your website that has all the foreclosures? We're going to paste that in there, right? I do want to require their phone number. Sometimes it'll let people in just with their email address, but I want as much information as possible to get with that person. So the background, I typically go down here and it says foreclosure, and it's going to have, a little bit better, more advantageous for a buyer. And we are ready to kind of launch this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to save. Once we save, press OK. The link to this, how we created that link earlier, is right up here, your web address. So copy that, right? And that's going to be, you'll be able to put that link in your social media, on your Instagram, on anything. And what I always tell people is, hey, if you ever wanted a list of foreclosures that are in your area, if so, click here. So what's going to happen is they're going to go to that. Let's say they see it on their social media page and they click on it. It's going to open this. They're going to type in their email. They're going to type in their cell phone number, and they're going to click to see the foreclosures. And then it's going to, what it should do is it's going to ensure that it gathers all that information that we've made from the page right here. You know how we went to our website and searched for foreclosures and et cetera, et cetera? It's going to pull up that page. Or the internet's going to block it, but that's what it'll do. It's going to pull up. Let me give that a moment. But it's going to pull up that list that we made earlier for foreclosures. Does anybody have any questions on why we should create and manage squeeze pages right now?
Hey Jeff, does that link, is it those foreclosures that you show, or does that link get old, is what I'm trying to ask? I mean, do you have to constantly update that?
The reason that we made the link first, one, we need to post it in here, but the reason that I made the link on my website, let me go back to it, is because my website, and just like anybody that has KV Core or is a member of EXP or anything like that, is a live website. So it's connected with an IDX feature, and the IDX feature basically talks to your local MLS. So once you've created this site right here and blasted it out, it's going to automatically continue to update when things go pending, when new ones come into the market, etc. Was that your question?
Yes.
Joe? Okay. Yeah. So once you create the link, it's done. But what I'm saying is don't forget that link, copy it and maybe put it in your notes or anything like that. If you lose it and you need to recreate it, it's really not that hard to go in here to lead engine, go to building landing page and just you know, start doing it. Does that help, Joe?
Yes, thank
Well, good. That is the landing pages and the squeeze pages. Right now, what I would like to talk about, I know this is why I'm doing the 3 sessions, is the call and text capture services. Because traditionally, if you are not really at EXP or a brokerage that allows you to use this software, you have to usually pay for text codes and things like that. But I'm going to show you how to do it for free within KV Core. And the whole reason of a call and text capture lead is to put on your sign writers, to put on your business cards. If you're at a listing presentation, you say, hey, when we finish, if you want to learn more about me, you know, just text Jeffrey Whitespeare to this number, and it's going to pull up an about me. It's going to pull up my website. It's going to tell you about my kids or my family. It's just a really neat feature that you guys need to add to your business. But when we get into the posting of properties, you can remove your direct phone number from the internet, which is huge, by using these text codes. So one thing I would use it for is, let's say that you send out let's do a social media post saying, hey, I have an assistant. I'm just trying to train this assistant, and her job is to just run comps for properties and give out market reports for free. If you guys are interested, will you please just text value, the number or the code value to my smart number and kind of help me out here. And what will happen is someone will text it. It's going to automatically send them this link, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And when they get that link, they're going to put in their address, and they're going to get estimate. And what's going to happen is it's going to take that person to your website, and it's going to show them comps and everything that is sold in their house. And what happens sometimes is they're almost taken back, like, wow, I didn't know I could get 500,000 for my house, right? I bought it for 300 just 4 or 5 years ago. I had no idea. And that'll add people to your database and things like that. So that's why I create text codes, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you have KV Core, go to your lead engine, go to call and text capture. We're in here. Again, before you guys create the text code, you're going to have to go to your website and get whatever you're trying to, that page that you're trying to get people to go to, you're going to need to get that, right? So what we're going to do is, again, for me, I always go directly to my website, because the website that they give you is backed by IDX. It has all the information. It's essentially letting the clients into their local MLS to be able to search for properties, but through you. It's going to have all your information on it. You're going to be able, they're going to reach out to you, et cetera, et cetera. So when you create a link for anything, any of these links, create it through your website. So let's talk about one of the ones I've already created is properties in 77077. That is an area that I focus on. So I'm going to search in that zip code, and I'm going to search, let's say I only want leads that are 300,000 or more. So I'm simply going to search 77077, and I'm going to search. And all those properties in 77077 are going to be here, right? So again, copy this link because you will need it, right? And then go back, and you're going to add a new custom code to 77077. And when they text 77077 to your smart number, it's going to reply with a message. And that message is, traditionally what I say is, hey, you know, thanks for reaching out for properties in 77007 or whatever it may be. Click here to get access, direct access to the local MLS. And say those last 3 sentences, because there's so many leads out there and clicks that people clickbait, if you will, and it just takes them to their website and they don't know what to do, but they're literally going to click on it and it's going to say, hey, you know, thanks for reaching out to my my information. I don't know how I'm drawing. Somebody's drawing on the chat. Pretty awesome, actually. Anyway, you know, like I was saying, you're going to copy that, paste that link in there, but it's going to say, see below for local listings on the MLS in your area. Hashtags, same thing. Get pretty specific with hashtags. 77077 would be my hashtag. Make it easy. That's my smart number here, and I'm going to add it. Amanda, are you there? I don't know how someone drew on the screen, but that
I
was
don't know
pretty cool.
either. I would love to learn.
Yeah, anyway. So now that we've created that and I already have one up here, go here, go to edit, and this is what's going to look like. So if anybody were to ever, you can test it right now if you want. Hopefully not all, you know, but if anybody ever texts this number, they're going to get this message and it's going to pull up this link. So let's say I'm at an open house, right? Let's say I'm at an open house and the open house is in the zip code, you know, 77077. And they say, hey, I really like this property, but it's just not quite right for me. Do you have any other listings? And there's people out the door, right? You want to give as much value as you can to that person at that moment before they walk off and you lose that opportunity. So you need to have tools like this in your tool belt. So for example, if they say, hey, I don't love this property. You have anything other in this area? You say, hey, yeah, do me a favor, just text me. Yeah, here's my number, 77077. That's the zip code we're in. It's going to send you a link. And it's going to have all the properties in this area. The cool thing is you'll have direct access to MLS. So you'll be able to search for properties just like me. And if you have any questions, you'll be able to save it. You'll be able to share it, print flyers, etc., schedule showings, everything like that. So hope that helps. You know, have a good day kind of thing. And what happens is they're blown away with the value that you gave them at that moment. So they'll probably turn out, you know, to text that number and you'll get their information. So does anybody have any questions about why to use text codes or how to create them or anything like that?
You have to pay for your smart number, Jeff?
So good question, EXP gives you a smart number, and if that person is in your contacts and you give them the smart number that EXP gives you, that information will come to you directly because they're in your contacts. Now, that smart number is also given to other agents in that same market area, right? So you will have one number that everybody uses, but how the system knows that your lead is because their information is in the system. So let's say that I give out a smart number that EXP gave me to Stephen Thompson, and Stephen Thompson texts that code to that smart number. It's going to go to me because Stephen's in my CRM. Let's say I send that same number to Hui, and Hui is not inside of my CRM. It's going to round robin that lead, right? So what I would recommend is for $27 a month, you get your own smart number. And how to view that smart number is just go to your tab here, and that's your smart number there. But if you want to have your own specific smart number, there is some benefits to that. One, if you text everybody from that number, it'll find that text or that email or whatever you shared and put it into the contact details. So that's pretty cool. And then two, if that person is not in your CRM, it won't, it'll just round robin that lead. So in order to do that, go to Marketplace, and you're going to go to the smart number add-on, and you'll be able to add that to your KV Core. And again, that allows you to, like I said, $27 a month, but it allows you to kind of see everything on there. So does that answer your question, Hui?
Oh yeah, I think that's what I've been missing. I'm gonna go pay for that number.
Yeah, try to get your own. Again, if they're in your CRM and they use the traditional smart number that EXP gives you, it will go to you. If they're not in your CRM, it won't.
What happens if someone is in multiple agents CRM?
I think it goes to both, but I would love to
Goes
test
to both.
that. I would love to test that because there's nothing in the backend system that tells it not to send to both, right? It just matches up their contact information with the smart number, so it would probably go to both. But I think it's worth it to get your own smart number.
Definitely.
To me, but we're at about 1:45. We did have some technical difficulties, so I can keep on going. Amanda, there is about 25, or Sydney, there's about 25 different things in the chat box. Is there any questions that somebody has? We can kind of jump in.
Most people
in the-
would love a copy of this recording. I know that you're going to send it out to anyone who did the Evite, so we already have your info. That's
Yeah,
most-
so if you guys registered through the Eventbrite, I have your email, and Sydney's gonna send out the recording once we finish. If not, like I said, reach out to me on my social media or message me, and I'll share that again for you guys. Right here, just go to, my Facebook, my Instagram, anything like that, and reach out, and I'll try to get you a copy of this. But I would love to answer some questions. I didn't get through everything. I wanted to show you how to do the Craigslist thing, and I can do that if you don't have any questions. Or do we see questions in there, Amanda?
I see one. So let's say someone's with a different brokerage and they want KV Core. Could they transfer their contacts over, or is there an easy way to upload all of your contacts?
Yeah, so what I did, like I was saying, I wasn't with EXP when I had a CRM, but I had Boomtown. So Boomtown, a great CRM, it's just kind of expensive. So what happened is I just downloaded all my information and got it into an Excel format. And then if you're not with EXP specifically, I think you can go directly to like kvcore.com. I'm assuming, because I don't know, so I hate to say this, but I think it's about $500 or so a month. But the problem with going directly to KV Core and signing up is all that stuff that you get to do. Like some of the stuff that I was showing, you have to pay for it as well. But yeah, I think you just go to kvcore.com, I guess, and then sign up to that, and then just upload all your contacts to that. You think that answered their question, Amanda?
I think so. I think I saw another good one. Since the market is shifting, what about persuading sellers to sell? Is there an option to do a squeeze page perhaps for sellers?
Yeah, so those are market reports. I like to call them market reports. So let me show you that really quick. So when we go to lead engine, like I said, you can build a squeeze page or the landing page, whatever kind of meets your eye, if that makes sense. But I traditionally like the landing pages. So if you want to create one just for a seller, you definitely can. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the lead engine. This background here is going to be like a home value report. And you can send that, and this is going to be dealt for a seller. And same thing, what I was saying earlier, is when you create this, it's going to send them properties that are comparable to theirs. You can do it that way and put that out there. But yes, I would try your best to focus on sellers. There is a lot of buyers in the market too, though, but go here if you want. It's a little bit, like I said, looks a little bit different on the squeeze pages, but go to market report. Let's say that you focus, and my idea would be specific on the target areas you focus on. Like I'm in Houston. If I just try to get Houston sellers to reach out to me, it'd be impossible because it's so large. But if I get sellers in my zip code to reach out to me, right? It's a lot easier. One, I can be a lot more specific on where I post this stuff and the events that I show up to and the open houses that I do and the leads that I pay for. So if you're putting all these fishing poles out there to try and get sellers, put them all in one area of the lake, if that makes sense. And then it's okay to focus on a couple areas, right? Maybe focus on a few subdivisions or whatever, but just get really specific with the areas you're targeting. So the market report, like I said, 77055. I always just put Facebook on here. Hashtag gonna be seller 77055 would be the hashtag that I would use. And it's pretty easy to generate that link. You know, there it is. And then put that out. Like I said, Amanda, I mean, any other ideas where you post it? I would post it on Nextdoor, I would post it on garage subgroups. I would do that social media post saying, hey, I just hired an assistant, just trying to get her kind of trained up in comps, et cetera, et cetera.
I know someone mentioned the Facebook Marketplace. I have seen some people kill it in there. Well, they'll post, free CMA or check out all these homes that are for lease, and they will do that live link like Joe was talking about, how it auto updates. And so you do 1 or 2 posts and it's totally free marketing.
Any other questions in the chat?
I think that's it. Does anyone else have questions? Y'all can turn your mics off and unmute yourself.
This is good stuff, Jeff. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, like I said, there's so much information. I mean, as you can see, probably halfway through the Zoom, it's even overwhelming for me. Like, there's just so much stuff. So what happens with KV Core especially is there's so many things it could do, and it's so powerful that you just don't do any of it because you don't know where to start. So start with your contacts, put them in there, hashtag them all. Eventually in the second and third session, I'm going to talk about the drip campaigns, how we can apply these drip campaigns to specific tags, text campaigns, all kinds of stuff that this system that can do. But and then if you guys want a copy of my buyer script, I'm going to email everyone, or some of y'all can email me. But essentially, I started out as a buyer's agent the first 3 years of my career. And all I did with buyers, I closed 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 buyers before starting my own team. And I used the same scripts that I used 12 years ago, I'm using today. So I'll send you those scripts and we can talk about those scripts in different sessions.
Quick question, Jeff, as far as landing pages and squeeze pages, do you see a little better result on one or the other?
No, they're just used for different things, right? So, so like I said, a squeeze page is you're giving out a ton of information to get their information. Like, you're trying to give as much value as you can to get their information. Whereas a landing page is you're trying to get them to give you their information as far as, so I would think landing page is more geared towards sellers in my opinion, but I think it's a little bit easier in the system to create a landing page.
Okay.
But it's any personal preference. Right, Amanda? Oh, Amanda doesn't. Yeah, David?
Hey, what's your take on property boost?
That was on my session to do. And because we had a few minutes and nobody jumped off, well, not a lot of people jumped off, I'll show you how to do that. I think it's pretty easy and it's cost effective. So can you guys, yeah, you can see my screen. To do a property boost, this is one of the things you can do in the CRM that kind of costs a little bit of money. But it's not really that much. But again, my biggest thing is when you're going to do a property boost or pay for any leads out there, there's thousands of lead sources. Only get leads in certain areas of town. Don't try to control Houston, and try to control a few subdivisions. And then that way, then when the referrals and everything comes back to you, then you can build a business and kind of spread out. But when you're farming, well, when you're trying to get leads, farm, like digitally farm. So again, one of my areas is 77055. You have to wait for that zip code to pop up. But let's see some properties in that area. And let's say this one here on Linview Drive, it is on the market with Matthew. Let's say I want leads for this specific property because I'm an area expert. This is the one on the markets I farm. I know the schools, I know the restaurants, I know the bars, I know the bike routes, I know the running routes, I know everything about this area. So again, I'm going to focus in this area. Let's say I like this property. Go to quick actions here. More actions down here, and go to the very bottom and it says boost property. When you click on that, it's like a third-party website pops up that has a deal with KV Core, and you can boost that property. Now, when I say boost that property, it kind of puts this ad out for you on multiple social media accounts. I don't know how they do it or where they put it or whatever. All I do know is that it does work. I traditionally, I like to display the price, and I like to do just listed. It'll cut down, what it does, it cuts down the number of leads when you display the price, because a lot of the times if you don't display the price, they're just asking how much it is. And you get just hammered with leads that are just, anyway, I always display the price. You can do whichever one you want. I don't mess with anything. I don't change the targeting. I don't add any text. I don't add seller information. I go straight down here. I traditionally do the 150. And what happens is for the next 21 days, my ad is going to get seen up to 6,000 times. And I can probably add about 30 to 40 contacts in my database. So that's the one I choose. It's really cheap. This is a lot cheaper. It's only for a week, and you can add up to about 12 contacts in your database. Whichever one you want to choose, you can get. Just be hesitant. If you do a property that is 250,000 in Katy, it's going to sell in like 2 days, right? So don't go and create an ad that's going to run for 3 weeks. So anyway, that's how you do the property boost. Did that help you there, was it Daniel?
Yeah, it does. I know how to run a property boost, but I haven't really gotten a lot of success for it.
That's going to be what the session, the next sessions are, because the quality of the leads is as good or as bad as the quality of your scripts and the quality of your follow-up. And I'm not saying you have bad scripts and you have bad follow-ups. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the quality of any lead is the quality of your follow-ups and scripts. And it's okay, because a lot of those contacts that get in there that say I'm not interested, most agents are like, okay, well, unsubscribe. It's just about how you talk to them and how you get them interested, and just continue to add so much value to their weeks or their months or whatever, that they come back to you and eventually use you. So that's in the probably session 3. It's going to be more designed to, when I get a lead and they tell me to go screw off, I'm not interested, how do I cultivate that lead? How do I get that lead to want to work with me eventually? It's never a no, it's just not right now to me. Now, some people say, hey, don't ever contact me again, blah, blah, blah. Sure, that's not the case. But even if they say, hey, it's $850, it's way out of my price range, no, thank you. I would say the majority of agents kind of let that lead go. And there's so many things you can do, especially with KV Core, how you can check in with them on their texts and emails and et cetera. So we'll talk about that too.
I love it. So I think we have a couple of hands that are raised.
Let's do it.
Elizabeth,
I have a quick question. Before you do a property boost, should you always contact the listing agent to ask for permission, or do you just go ahead and do it? Is it proper to just ask them for it? I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, in Texas, it's probably polite to ask them, right? But in Texas, when we have a listing agreement, it is signed with the brokerage, not the agent. So when that agent, when that seller signs from an EXP listing agreement, it gives EXP, the brokerage, the ability to market that listing. So you can do any EXP, or let's say you're a KW Remax and you're boosting property. If it's within your same brokerage, you don't have to.
Okay,
Outside of that brokerage, you should, and you should get it in via text or via email. Don't call them. And the text and email that sometimes that I'll send out, or my VAs will send out, is, you know, I got a lot of buyers in that area. I'm trying to sell that property. I'm trying to bring you a buyer. Would it be okay if I market that listing? And
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had a no,
perfect.
and I would do that written form, text or email.
Thank you.
Amanda, anything else?
No, I think this was awesome. I can't wait to share the recording with everyone. Thank you for doing this.
Okay, well, that is going to be the end of session 1. I'm going to record it again. If you guys want to get this recording, or you know, jump into sessions 2 and 3, just reach out to me via email. Other than that, if there's no other questions, really enjoy your Tuesday and make more calls to make more money. It's pretty simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Anyway, that's it. See y'all.